sounds great. I'll definitely hire myself. So thank you. Let me talk about Coding Dojo. So we started in 2010. We never thought about doing a coding bootcamp. And in 2010, we were actually in the Valley area, and we were ranked the 33rd fastest growing company by Inc. magazine by percentage. And one of the challenges that we faced was that we just had a really hard time hiring great engineers. We would pay the recruiters anywhere between 10 to 30% on the bonus, and also it would take us anywhere between 4 to 6 months to train a software engineer once they come on board to really come in on the learning curve using our own platforms, different languages in the back end. And so the question we ask ourselves is that, can we actually hack this ourselves? Can we create an internal program to train our own software engineers to be better, and also train our own internal employees who want to go to the engineering track to help them enable that? So in 2010, we took this challenge in hand, and we started creating our own software engineer training program for our own employees. And at first, it was really hard. It took us about a year to really understand what does it take, how do we codify the process, train someone who may not even have any software engineering mentalities or thinking. And so, but after a year of iteration, we were able to train people with one stack of software language. And for those of you who don't know what a stack is, for example, if you go to Amazon.com, the front end, which you see, all the pictures, that's the front end. And when you type something in, whatever you are searching for, it comes up, that's from the database, and the language that enables that is the server. So that's what we call one full stack. And we were like, because we require multiple different technology platforms in our backend, let's train them with 3. And so by the end of 2012, we were able to train someone with no software engineering background to really learn 3 full stacks and be productive in our engineering department. And in 2013, we started to see this coding bootcamp movement. In San Francisco, New York, Chicago, different hubs of the nation, tech hubs of the nation. And the question we asked ourselves is, we're already doing this. Let's pivot this internal program open to other people who want to learn this. And in 2013, I think February or second quarter, we opened this program, and we have been just pretty successful in terms of the people coming in to get trained. We started out in 2013 in Silicon Valley, Palo Alto, Mountain View area, and 2014 we came up to Seattle. We expanded to Seattle, and last year we were expanded to Los Angeles, and this year we're going to Washington D.C. and Chicago, a couple other areas. And so that's a little bit of our company, and we deliver our courses online as well as site. And to talk about our mission is to transform lives through programming literacy. I would just like to play a video next, so I think you all will get a sense about what does that look like through our students.
I had no experience looking for work in a technical field, so I really had no idea whether I would get a job or not. My name is Sarah Wong. Before Coding Dojo, I was in business systems. Now I'm a web developer at Share Interactive. I really enjoy my work, and because of my full stack background, I can just go in wherever I'm needed. My future has all these different paths that it never had before. I could become technical lead, I could aim for manager, and people management, that kind of work. And all these would have been not an option, before. I was never this confident. I suddenly became confident during the boot camp and after. I think that I never had a skill that I was incredibly passionate about, so that's part of it. Just having a passion can take your confidence a long way. Just with the risk of being completely sappy, Coding Dojo changed my life, and I'm doing what I love to do right now. And I don't believe that I would have been able to, grow as a person, as a developer, the same way if I had gone to another boot camp. It's very intense, but the most rewarding work I've ever done.
Yeah, so Sarah, she had no engineering background whatsoever. She was business background, and we were able to turn her to be a full stack web developer, and you're gonna hire her afterward, after interactive. And we also have a strong push on closing the gender gap, the racial gap in tech. 25% of our students now is more female, and also we are giving out diversity scholarships to different students who want to get into the tech field. Oh yeah, so talk about just the growth here in Bellevue here. So right when we moved here, I think in terms of contractors at that time, I think we had 10, and total now full-time and part-time together we have more than 70 employees. And we really love the area of Bellevue here. You know, we have the city's strongly supporting us, and Leah has been reaching out so many times. And I think that's one of the reasons why we make Bellevue our headquarters in this local region. And you know, I think just to echo something which Josh said, you know, one of the things is in this region is that ecosystem, it is really important. You know, when you go to the valley, you see there's a lot of supporting. In terms of creating ecosystem, it takes the government support, regulation, it takes funding, it takes the entrepreneur, it takes education to create a talent, and the local you know, company support. And so you know, creating an ecosystem, making this whole thing thriving, that's really important. You know, if we can find more ways to enable the entrepreneur ecosystem here, that would be just fantastic. Yeah. You know, not really best practices, but just something that, you know, we learned over time is that the one is really pick a problem that is worth to solve, and you know, running a startup, and it is really hard. It is really hard. There is a lot of hard work behind it. And you know, what we tell our employees is that, look, we are not in the business of training people to code. We are in the business of transforming lives. And just happen to be that our way of delivering that is through coding. And so that's really important to really understand the problem that we are solving. What business exactly that we are in. Second thing is, I think it's kind of relating to that. And culture, you know, again, it's again, just running a startup is about being in the trenches every single day. You know, I don't have an office. I sit out there with my team. I want to know what kind of help they need, and so I can provide the kind of help and oversight, visibility, and support at all times. And determination, resilience, and finding the people that has that deliver your mission is critically important. This is a marathon and a sprint. When you are in trouble, you know, you need to find a way to get out of the trenches and put out the fire. But also at the same time, for Coding Dojo, we never raised a single dollar, and so it's bootstrapped the whole way. In 2014, our revenue was 1.9 million. Just keep in mind, we started in 2013. So 2014, we were able to achieve 2 million. Last year, we were able to quadruple revenue to 6. And the 2000 this year and next year, we are foreseeing a 100% revenue growth year over year. And again, you know, it is true that in this region, it's really hard to find private equity firms and venture capitalists to be able to raise money. I was just in Boston, and going down to the valley and going back to New York again. And so it would be fantastic if we have more investors in this area to help enable the local startup ecosystem for, you know, growth-related capital. And then just push beyond what's possible. You know, again, back then in 2014, you know, we were in 2 million, the team was pretty happy, and we broke even. But you know, we keep questioning ourselves, what else is possible? What else can we do? You know, if we're in this business, why not be the best that we are? And we constantly innovate, we constantly iterate, and find ways to continuously improve. And until this day, we have more than 84 competitors, but we are the only one in the world today who can teach 3 full stacks in 14 weeks. And that's tremendous accomplishment by the team that we have. And just every single day we ask ourselves the question that, what can we do to make it better? What can we do to push the business forward? You know, and exceed the customer expectation for us. We don't see our students as students, we see them as customers. You know, every single 2 weeks, we give out surveys for Net Promoter Scores, and to see what can we do to innovate, to be better in our content, in our instruction, to keep just pushing the envelope to exceed their expectation. customer success, that's what's important. And that's the business we are in as well. So I think with that said, that's the last slide. But actually, there's one more. Sorry. I think in terms of with this community, we are launching more corporate training programs based on the employer partners that I heard from, from Expedia and different other companies. We have queries about how could you help us train our own software developers to learn the latest open source technologies. That's one of the programs we're developing. And also we are launching a Code for Change Foundation as a nonprofit organization where we are seeking donors to put in money into a 501c and where we are able to help the underserved, the minorities, and people in terms of getting them into coding. And a lot of times, we've been doing this for a while. Our learnings are that, look, it's not just about getting them into the classrooms. We had a mom who actually took the bus every day from Everett. It took 3 hours to get into our classroom. And then the laptops, they may not even have the Wi-Fi, so who's looking for our kids? And so the money will go help them to really enable, from an infrastructure standpoint, to get them into class and really help them out in terms of the resources they need. And so we are really excited about the foundation. We look forward to reach out to the community and to raise money to help people who are in need of that. And so if any of you are looking for fantastic software developers, feel free to reach out to us. And or if there are nonprofit organizations in the community or small businesses who may need to build an app or website, we have a community pitch day where we invite you to come in to pitch to our students. They are all ready to build your projects for you. So, okay. Thank you. Yeah.